let's never forget that we're in this position because of all the hard work and the great leaders that preceded us. They brought us to this pivotal time in our movement's history. And we now have the privilege of honoring some of these leaders in the National YMCA Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Yes. So to lead the charge this year with our inductees, I'm happy to welcome our colleague and friend, the former board chair of the Rochester YMCA and the president of Springfield College, Dr. Mary Beth Cooper. Let's give her a warm welcome. Welcome.
Matt, thank you very much. Well, hello, YMCA. On behalf of Springfield College, the home of the National YMCA Hall of Fame, it is a privilege to be here once again to recognize a group of extraordinary leaders. But before we introduce this year's class, we want to take a moment to thank another important leader connected to the Hall of Fame. Many of you know John Priest as the president and CEO of the YMCA Retirement Fund. He recently retired from this role, but as John's friend and colleague, I know that his love for the Y will always remain strong. John is also a former chair of the National YMCA Hall of Fame Executive Committee. And for the last 10 years, John's vision to celebrate the great leaders of the Y has unlocked the power of the past for so many of us. John couldn't be with us today, but we couldn't let this moment go without expressing our gratitude for all that he's done to elevate the Hall of Fame to the prominence it enjoys today. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, we begin the Hall of Fame inductions by honoring a remarkable group of Y professionals and volunteers who exemplify the YMCA cause to serve. To tell us more about a remarkable chapter in our history, please welcome Branch Director of the Wheeler Army Airfield Armed Services, YMCA, Hawaii, Leanne Hahi. You're warmed them up.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Good afternoon, everyone, and aloha. How's everyone doing? Good. It is my honor to be here today as a proud representative of the YMCA and the United States military. 100 years ago, the world celebrated the end of a tragic conflict and humanitarian crisis known as the First World War. From 1917 to 1918, the YMCA was at the front lines and behind the scenes, providing services to Allied forces, as well as relief to prisoners of war, ensuring their humane treatment. And once we entered the war in 1917, the YMCA dispatched 26,000 men and women to minister to the mental, spiritual, and physical needs of the U.S. military and its allies. President Taft called the YMCA's work one of the greatest achievements of peace in all of human warfare. This work was truly monumental. From education to spiritual guidance to athletics and entertainment, the Y reached 75 million soldiers. YMCA personnel received 319 citations and decorations from Allied governments. Sadly, however, 8 men and women working under the YMCA banner were killed in action. It was an extraordinary effort, and today it is a great honor to remember and recognize those individuals who perfectly represent the potential of the YMCA movement. Please join us in a round of applause for the induction of the men and women who served both the Y and the world in World War I.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Now, as we turn to our individual inductees, let's bring back Kevin Washington to help with the honors. Kevin?
Thanks, Mary Beth. The non-volunteers and professionals we are about to honor have demonstrated a lifetime of commitment to our mission. The YMCA came into their life at an early age, helped them grow personally and professionally, and gave them a platform for making a difference in the lives of others.
That's right, Kevin. They were change makers before the term became into existence. They had passion, vision, and character. And in the Y, they found a partner willing to nurture their leadership skills and give them the space and support they needed to lead change.
That's what the YMCA has always done, and we will continue to do, create change makers. And with that in mind, we thought it would be appropriate to invite some of our future change makers to help us out. Please welcome from Springfield College and the Anaheim Family YMCA, our Hall of Fame presenters. Not yet, Mary Beth, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Well, welcome to all of you, and thank you for being part of our celebration. Some very familiar faces behind me, and if you ask some of these Springfield College students in this group about the YMCA Hall on our campus, they might tell you that more than 140 individuals have been inducted since its inception in 1985. They may also share that the Y volunteers and professionals that we honor today are role models who have set the highest standard of excellence and achievement for our movement. But I'll let them do the talking. Let's begin with our first individual honoree. Thank you.
My name is Olivia Tanzer. As someone who is passionate about international relations and diversity inclusion, I'm so grateful for the contributions of our first honoree, Alice Bonnie Mars. During her 36-year career, Bonnie Mars connected people worldwide. She expanded the YMCA's International Camp Counselor program, bringing counselors here from all over the world. She created camper exchange programs that allowed American international campers to travel to Y camps worldwide. For 15 years, she served as executive director of the International Services Branch for the YMCA of Greater New York, helping expand the Y's presence at the United Nations. Since her retirement in 2006, Bonnie has served as chair of the World Alliance of YMCA's Emergency Fund. Personally, as a former participant and now support leader with the Y's International Camper Exchange Program, I truly appreciate the legacy that Bonnie built, and I am inspired to strengthen the Y as a truly global, diverse, and inclusive organization.
Please give a warm round of applause for the induction of Alice Bonnie Mars.
I'm Stephanie Hernandez. As the daughter of Mexican immigrants, I am proud to introduce a man who has done so much to support immigrants and cultural awareness at the Y. Our next inductee is Dr. William K. Lee. For nearly half a century, Dr. Lee was an outstanding YMCA volunteer at the local, national, and international levels. He was an innovator, a policymaker, and a mentor to staff and volunteers at the YMCA of Greater New York. Above all, Dr. Lee built bridges between cultures. He was a champion of American immigrants, developing new American programs at the YMCA of Greater New York to support immigrants assimilating to American life. Dr. Lee also served as board of chair of the international branch of the YMCA of Greater New York, where he promoted cross-cultural learning exchanges both here and abroad. Dr. Lee made a difference for immigrants like my parents, and his compassion and integrity will serve as an inspiration to me.
Please join us in honoring Dr. William K. Lee.
My name is Ali Pisano Stratton, and I am honored to introduce a true trailblazer for the YMCA and a role model for someone like me hoping to make a difference in this world. Barbara Roper started breaking down barriers in 1971 as a volunteer with YMCA of Central Florida, where she became the first woman chair in 1980. She then went to become the first woman to chair the YMCA of the USA Board of Directors. I admire Barbara's courage to challenge the status quo and open the doors for women such as myself. As a participant of the global-wide programs through Springfield College, I'm inspired by Barbara's work as a committee member of the YUSA board, traveling the world from South America to Africa to Europe and to Asia to spread her commitment to service.
Now please join us in congratulating new Hall of Fame inductee, Barbara Roper.
Hello, my name is Andrew Sandoval. As captain of my varsity basketball team, I greatly admire the leadership of our next honoree, Harold Keltner. During the Depression, Harold once raised the funds to build a brand new YMCA, a rare accomplishment in the United States at this time. But Harold's influence went far beyond building a single new Y in St. Louis. And while the numbers alone cannot tell the story of Harold's long career, one statistic stands out. More than 7 million parents and children have participated in the national program that Harold helped create in 1926, now known as the Adventure Guides Program. From St. Louis to Indiana to New York, Harold was devoted to making the Y a place for youth to realize their potential. He had a soft spot in his heart for the bond between fathers and children, leading to his collaboration with Joe Friday, a member of the Ojibwe tribe and a YMCA Hall of Fame inductee. The program encouraged fathers and sons to be more involved with each other. Knowing how important my father is to me, I am honored to remember and recognize Harold.
Let's have a round of applause as we induct Harold Keltner into the Hall of Fame and welcome to the stage his nominator for this honor, Debbie Redmond.
My name is Natalie Campos, and I feel a personal connection to the next inductee because she came to the United States from Mexico just like my parents. And like them, she worked very hard to succeed. Bea Beaterton Hawk was a pioneer of modern-day human resources in the Y movement. But there is much more to Bea's story than her professional journey from office manager in 1972 to Vice President of Human Resources 30 years later at the YMCA of San Diego County. There's more to her story than how she paved the way for every YMCA to adopt a strategic approach to human resources. Beyond her resume is a woman known for generosity, even using her own resources to help others learn. Bea came here from Mexico at the age of 8 and became a strong advocate for multicultural awareness in the Y movement. She also managed to get a graduate degree while working 2 jobs and raising 5 kids. And while her professional accomplishments are impressive, it is her strength and compassion that makes her all the more special. As a strong, big-hearted female leader, Bea is a role model for someone like me.
It is my special honor to introduce a Springfield College alum. and now an inductee in the YMCA National Hall of Fame. Please join me in recognizing B. Betterton Hawk.
My name is Rosie Sang. As the current YMCA club president at Springfield College, I understand the value of youth development and the importance of creating programs designed to help others reach their full potential. So, I am humbled to introduce Harold Mazel. Over his 40-year career, Harold was known for his social justice work and transformational leadership style. He changed the urban landscape by inspiring others to work together to touch the lives of countless people. During more than 40 years of work with the Y in Kansas City and in the Twin Cities, Harold is credited with a broad range of important national Y initiatives and programs advancing the careers of multicultural leaders. One major milestone, as president and CEO of what is now the YMCA of the Greater Twin Cities, he pioneered the Beacons Adaptation Partnership, an after-school network that provided services for more than 5,000 youth daily from low-income urban communities, with an estimate of over 60,000 youth served since the program began in 1996. I plan to make a difference in the world through a career with the Y, and I can think of no better role model than Harold Mazel.
And now, please give a big round of applause to mark the induction of Harold Mazel into the YMCA National Hall of Fame.
I'm David Parks, and I'm here to introduce a man who is not just a leader, but a hero. During World War I, Dr. Hedley Dimmick saved the lives of his fellow soldiers by jumping on a German grenade. Fortunately, he survived and went on to lead an incredible life. It turns out that putting other people first was second nature to Dr. Dimmick. His career at the Y showed us that. Dr. Dimmick helped shape the YMCA in the 20th century. Through his research, writing, and leadership, he changed YMCA programs to better serve others. A dynamic teacher and mentor, he wrote books, conducted social research, and served as a director of training and leadership development at the YMCA of San Francisco. Dr. Dimmick was said to be as much as a prophet as he was a scientist, and his contributions ranged from group work to outdoor education to character development. As someone involved in Y basketball programs, as well as my church group, I appreciate his commitment to Y programs and building character for kids like me.
Please join us in a round of applause for the induction of Dr. Hedley Dimmick, represented tonight by his great-granddaughter, Jackie Mahoney.
Hi, my name is Giselle Vilas. As a future leader and a person of color, I take pride in the achievements of the next inductee. Jean Ann Durades began her Y career in 1963 as a program counselor for the YMCA of Metro Chicago. In 1970, she became the first African-American female management consultant on the staff of the YMCA of the USA. She held that position for 22 years until her retirement in 1992. Jean Ann did much more than break down barriers for herself. Through her training and counseling, Jean Ann helped countless young African-American staff members at the Y reach higher and go farther. A champion for multicultural leadership development, she provided opportunities as well as inspiration for young African-American staff to aspire to leadership positions in the Y movement. Her work expanded internationally, especially in Africa, where she traveled on behalf of the Y on several occasions. I hope to one day become a constitutional lawyer so I can appreciate how Jean Ann stood up for others, especially African Americans.
Jean Ann Durades paved the way for someone I've known for a long time. I am proud to induct her into the National Hall of Fame.
My name is Kyla Boynes. Next month, I will attend and deliver a workshop at the Y's 175th anniversary celebration in London, representing the Springfield College Y program. As inspiration for how to best represent my college and the Y, I will look to the amazing legacy of our next inductee, Robert Skip Wilkie. As staff and volunteer, Skip did it all, including an international journey in the 1980s to visit YMCAs throughout Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, where he strengthened international relations and programs. Clearly, his reach went well beyond the YMCAs, where he worked in the Twin Cities and New York. Skip was one of the most recognized and respected camping leaders in the YMCA movement. Incredibly, he took part in the YMCA Mid-America Camp Conference for 48 consecutive years. Skip was also instrumental in strengthening Minnesota's Youth in Government program. Beyond his support of camping, international work, and youth programs, he gave to the Y his time, wisdom, humor, and generous financial contributions. I am one of many who are inspired to live up to his example.
As we welcome Skip's niece, Julie Newman, to the stage, please join me in a warm round of applause for the induction of Robert Skip Wilkie.
Now, it is up to us to carry on the great work and live up to the proud legacy of these extraordinary leaders. Please join me in congratulating the 2019 inductees to the YMCA National Hall of Fame.